And Brains and Bronze is a weekly podcast designed to give you both sides of the story and help you better understand your world. Today we are brought to you by Astute Productions, where ideas take form, and Patriot Focus, turning everyday people into entrepreneurs and helping small businesses grow. Today our guest is Merbebe Solomon. Did I say that right?
Yes.
We just know him. I just know him as Solomon.
Yeah, we've known Solomon for a long time. He is the author of Unified Journey. He's also a speaker, entrepreneur. We've met at a local meetup at actually Wendy put together.
Yeah. We have a local meetup, Astute Filmmaking Group.
Yeah. And so Solomon is just back from Africa doing some really great things, and he came in to kind of talk about what he's doing. So hand it over to you. You want to tell us a little bit about your background real quick and talk about what you're up to?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I
Sure.
appreciate the opportunity. So I was born in Ethiopia, and I came to the U.S. when I was 6. And I grew up in the Midwest. Went to college for a couple years, and after finding out I might need a little more discipline, I decided to join the Marine Corps, where they were more than happy to give it to me.
You smiled. You must have gotten in trouble.
Well, I think
we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
So let's just say
The United Forces is an option.
Yes.
Fellow military man.
Yes.
I like it.
Semper Fi. So 14 years went by like that, and got more than I expected, more than I thought I would. Glad for it. After I got out, I had a lot of challenges. I was in a motorcycle accident, which was a medical discharge, and that was the reason for my separation. And in the process of rebuilding myself, as I'm looking at the world, as I'm exploring, my passion was business, entrepreneurship. I had twin girls, and financial success is, to me, the most effective way to be able to provide those you love.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's also the quickest way to, independence, freedom. Entrepreneurship to me means freedom.
Right.
In America, this is the land where that opportunity to be an entrepreneur, to create your own business, to have that freedom to its fullest ability is here in America. And I'm grateful for that more than anything else.
Yeah.
As far as, my life and the opportunities that I've been given.
So did you have like a goal in mind when you said you wanted to be an entrepreneur? What did that look like to you at that time? Like, did you just say I want to be an entrepreneur, or did you say I want to do?
In a certain field?
Yeah.
Or did you just love the word?
I love business. I love analyzing systems. I love looking at the supply, the demand, the process that it takes the product through. I love the design, the concept. I want to understand what are you doing, why are you doing it, and how is it going to make a difference in the world we're living.
Right.
And to me, business is a driver of development. It's a driver of progress.
Sure.
And, there's an input, there's an output, and there's something in between. Now, in business, this is supply and demand, right? And in electronics, you have electrical signals.
Positive and negative.
Positive and negative. And certain measurement.
Sorry, ladies, there's a lot of guy talk here.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just made more sense. And then I also saw in my traveling a lot of pain. Both personally and in our environment. And there's a lot of pain everywhere right now.
Sure.
Anyway. So how do you make an impact? How do you make a positive difference in this world? And I've seen a lot of, stories about activists who've done this, that, or another, and even the greatest ones, Mandela, Martin Luther King, whoever. It's a long, hard road. And it ain't like entrepreneurship's any easy.
No.
Or it's not like it's much easier. It is easier. But when you look at math, you see how many incredibly impactful activists have been there, and how many independent business owners, financially stable or able business owners are there, there's a lot more on that side, on the business side.
Right.
So if I want to go impact the world and make a positive difference, how am I going to do that? What is the fastest way for me to do that? If I pursue activism, it's a long, hard road that's going to take me a very long time to even be able to impact and reach a lot of people.
Yeah, sure.
If I choose business, not only is what I'm working on have the potential of making a positive difference, but also I accumulate resources, and at a certain point, when I've got the experience, reach, network, and everything else that I need, whatever I am doing to try to make the world a better place, it becomes easier.
Sure. So what was the avenue? What did you decide? Like, what was your, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, so I'm going to do what?
Initially, I was just exploring. I would go to startup weekends. I got my business degree with concentration in entrepreneurship. I would do, I did a lot of different network marketing companies, just exploring, everything, a lot of different ones. And then so many books you can't even imagine. Because I learned right away when I started studying entrepreneurship that the failure rate was 95% in 5 years. And I also heard you got to love your business to start. And for me, as I was listening, both those things kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I also very quickly found out why they're sad. The failure rate is 95% because no matter what you love, running a business is a lot more than just your passion.
Right.
It has staff, it has taxes, it has
Mm-hmm.
marketing and advertising and all the other functions that come along with your passion.
Mhm.
So if you don't have a solid understanding of that failure rate's going to be 95%.
And some people change their mind. Some people just don't want to do it anymore or sell it, right?
Right.
It's not like failure. It's just like, all right, they morphed into something else.
Yeah. Having that focus, right?
Yeah,
If you don't
right.
love what you do, then what's going to happen? You're not going to push yourself to learn all those other things that's not nearly as interesting as your passion.
And not everything that you're passionate about should be a business. It could be a hobby. That builds a person more. But a lot of times people don't realize that. It's like, all right, let me just make this into a business.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think you bring up a very good point there. Sometimes there's a way to satisfy the outlet of the need and the passion without committing your lifestyle or your way of being able to provide for yourself and your family without making that commitment in that direction if that direction is not really going to provide.
Another thing that you said, I just want to clarify for myself and for our listeners. Are you more interested in activism, and the better way of making an impact is to go back to the business world and influence the business people? Did I catch on something that you're trying to say there? Or were you thinking that maybe just having the resources as a business person, then you can develop your community and then have an impact?
I love that question.
Okay.
And I love that question because it kind of brings us full circle to where we started, which is my brand, my platform, Unified Journey. Right? Unified Journey, and the whole reason I even started everything was the conflict. There's so much conflict out there. Right? And is activism what I want? Is business what I want? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like we spend a lot of time in this world arguing and fighting over an imaginary choice. We don't have to choose between going out there and killing the enemy or rebuilding that which is broken.
Right.
We don't have to choose between, it's not one or the other.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
this black and
Right.
white mentality in so much of the world. So my answer
And some
to
of it's
you
manipulative
is yes.
too.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure you'd probably say the same thing because I've traveled a lot. You traveled. All three of us have traveled. And in every community, people want the same things for their family.
Yeah.
And children are the same, whether they're boys playing tag with their friends in Malaga or in Casablanca. A bunch of kids are throwing the ball in the hallway.
Yes. And I think business is a to me it can be it is both. And it's also to the degree that it is both is the intention that is put into either or both. Right? If your intention is just about business and that's all it is and you're just on profits, you can do that. If your intention is all about activism and you're running your business just for that reason, you can do that. Shareholders may not be as happy. Or you may have negative consequences on their
So,
environment and your business may
At what point did
crash.
you decide you're going to write a book about all this?
The book. The book came late. I published it in October 2013, about 3 years, 2.5 years after, 4 years after I really started studying, beginning my process studying business. And initially, it was a twofold project. On the one hand, it's revenue generation plus learning internet, e-commerce, being able to practice running a business with a product that minimizes my commitment.
And overhead.
Right. And overhead, absolutely.
Because you can self-publish, right? You're self-published?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
While we show our audience, some people are listening to this on iTunes with a podcast, and some people see us on YouTube. So for the camera, we'll just hold up the...
So this is the cover of the book. As you can see in this format, it is more like a birthday card. So you have the cover, you have the back cover, and inside you have a poem, for lack of a better description. And that poem probably encapsulates my message, which is to believe in yourself. And because it's digital, right now it's only available digitally. I published it October 2013. There's 3 parts to this book. One part is the foundation, which is where I am right now, where I'm developing the infrastructure to support the sales, where I'm developing the brand, where I'm developing the product, and I'm learning how to do selling books.
So at some point you decided you had a lot to say, that you wanted to help. Obviously you were interested in helping other people, and you said, did you just do pen to paper? Was it started as journaling? Did it start as like a blog or memoirs or whatever, and it kind of morphed, or did you have a vision the entire time?
It started as journaling. I never intended to be an author. That was never on my path.
Okay. So you're trying to get these ideas out there, and it kind of just took form and started taking a shape of its own, and kind of sparked in your head like, oh, this could be helpful for other people that you were meeting,
Yes, all 3. So this book initially was built around 3 chapters of how to make your goals and dreams come true. Step 1, make it visible. Step 2, make it believable. Step 3, make it presentable. In fact, originally the book title was VBP, Visible, Believable, Presentable.
Oh, okay.
And I can pull open my journals and I can show you the dates where almost word for word those chapters were written in there.
All right.
And it happened across a few months, and it was more me internally just trying to guide myself where I needed to go. And then once I thought about the strategy of sharing those chapters, I said it's not enough. I had to add more value to the product. My thoughts, short story, it's nice, but I felt I needed to provide more to the consumer.
Okay.
And that's what the next phase is about, phase 2.
So you've kind of taken this book and you created like some workshops, right? So now it's going to go from being a book to you're going to have some speaking engagements and a workbook that comes along with it. So you're kind of guiding people through this process, the unified journey, as you call it. So what's your next step from now that you have the book? You're kind of working on the workshops, the steps. So what's next? Or where can everyone go to kind of see where you're going, or when you're going to do the next thing?
Yes. So now in phase 2, what I'm doing is I'm adding questions and exercises to the end of each chapter. There's going to be 10 questions and exercises at the end of visible, at the end of believable, and at the end of presentable chapter to help the reader through those stages. Okay. They're going to reference other authors, projects, whatever it is that will help you make your dream more visible to help it become more viewable and to help it become more presentable.
Cool. So it's like interactive.
Yes, because it's, it takes time, and you need multiple perspectives, and with different people having different dreams, you're going to have some people that are going to reach people better than others.
Right.
So this just allows the individual some more flexibility and some more perspectives to be able to look at what they're doing and to be able to make it happen easier. The other thing that it does is it allows me to reiterate what is already, in the book by other authors, other people who have said it. Because, what I'm trying to put out there is really more a reiteration. It's my translation of a lot of what's already been said. Whether we go back in time and we talk about the manifestation of your dreams.
Sure.
Thought or deed.
So you're involving other people, so this book is turning into a community of people then contributing to the unified vision.
Yes. Now.
So it's like almost like a living, breathing entity in a way, or it's changing and shifting.
It's definitely changing and shifting, and I said that in the book at a certain point. You'll hear me say something like, "I didn't write this for what I've already done. I'm writing this for what I wanted to make my dreams come true." So, what anybody that comes to Unified Journey is going to see is they're going to see somebody that's in transition. They're going to see somebody that is taking their dream and making it visible, believable, presentable in real time. So if you catch me right now, you're going to catch me somewhere as I'm transitioning from believable into presentable. And that's at least what it's going to look like from the outside. And come back 3-4 months from now, and you're going to see a much, much more presentable both platform, website. I have a second book that I'm getting ready to launch now. And the reason I'm launching my second book is because this book doesn't say why. Not enough. It hints at the whys of why am I forcing this down the throats of
You're not forcing it on anybody.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get it even more.
You don't look like an evil scientist to me.
Well, let me rephrase. Why?
You're being persuasive in your point of view.
Yes. A case for compassion is my why.
Okay.
It's my why of why do I want you to read that? Why do I want you to get engaged? Why do I think it's important? Why do I think it's worth it? Why do I think it's necessary? A case for compassion is both a second book.
I guess mine could be a case for kindness.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. Compassion, right? Yeah, that's the word, right? Understanding other people.
Yeah, and yourself. Compassion for yourself and for others. A lot of the pain that's out there is not just self-generated, self-inflicted, but it's only alleviated by the self. Only you can take a lot of the pain away that you're feeling.
Yeah.
So the Case for Compassion is a second book, and it's also a speaking series.
Okay.
And it's 4 parts. The first part is communication. The second one is optimization. The third one is collaboration. And the fourth one is manifestation. So together they make my case for compassion. Communication is about communication complexities and why it's so hard for us to talk to each other, have a dialogue, understand where people are coming from, and know what somebody means when they use a certain word.
Right.
And that's going to get even harder in our generation with texting.
Much
Oh,
harder.
yeah.
There's a lot of misunderstanding with texting.
Interpersonal communication is down
Yes.
a lot.
It's a challenge,
Yeah.
and it's really complicated. And I'm going to go into the weeds without going too far.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to make it clear that communicating is complicated. And I'm also going to give an idea, a tangible idea of what the collective conscious looks like.
That's going into my field.
So is this going to build off of that book, or is this like a prequel?
This book is more a prequel.
Okay.
So this book will lead into that.
Okay.
In fact, the 4th talk about manifestation is Your Road to Jericho.
Oh, nice.
So-
Okay. So it'll be a good tie-in.
Absolutely. It's meant to just tie right in.
Right. Okay.
The second talk, which is optimization, is also known on my website. You'll see it as Alchemy of Energy. And it's learning to be the observer of all that data and information, the energy
Right.
that comes in through your senses, and we understand in our dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual.
Sure.
So once it's inside of us, then that's where free will happens. Right? Free will is not about anything outside of you that you can do whenever you want. Free will is about how you choose to look at the world, half full or half empty, and what your actions are going to be as a result.
Right.
And that free will is the free will of the use of the energy that enters you
Okay.
and how you expend it.
Got it.
That's free will. At least that's how I'm defining it.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
that makes sense.
it just helps to kind of, it's going to help to empower someone to be able to observe energy
Mm-hmm.
and then be able to move it around in those dimensions and decide how they want it to come out.
Right.
That's my goal. The third, collaboration, is really going to kind of, I'm going to go into a lot of things that I noticed that was awesome about the melting pot military of the mixing pot nation,
Right.
and why it was the most collaborative, effective, and system
Yeah.
of collaborative living that I've ever seen. And then the last talk is your share. It's the manifestation.
To kind of
So,
tie it all together and
your
bring it
self
home.
process, Yes. Thought, word, and deed make your dreams visible, real, and commendable.
Cool. So I guess that's a good synopsis on what everything is. So what's a timeline for you? What do you want? Anything you want to tell to the listeners or viewers, like
Yes.
when they can expect this stuff, or where to find you? Where do you want them to?
Here's
Where to join the movement?
If you go to Unified Journey right now, unifiedjourney.com, and if you go ahead and get that book, every update that I make on that book, you'll always receive.
Okay.
Once you get the book once, you'll always get it.
Okay.
So as it changes, if you get the book now, as it changes, maybe a month from now, within the next month, I'm gonna make an update, and that update is gonna be a little bit of an edit update, and it's also gonna be an update to add the questions and exercises in there,
So that just get emailed back out to everybody.
and that'll come in your email box.
Cool.
So that would be the first step. And the next step is find me on social media. I've been absent for the
Yeah.
last month, so
Yeah, you've been
forgive my
away.
absence.
You were away in Africa for what, a month?
I was in Africa, and after I came back, I've been a hermit. I've been
Yeah.
kind of assimilating all
Assimilating
the
back
information
into
society.
Yes.
soaking it all in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I know on your website, what I enjoyed, you had some video clips. I remember one you had of the gentleman who made the 5-hour energy
Oh,
drink,
yeah.
and he really is a big champion for entrepreneurs and how it's the people that are out there doing and creating things that are really helping society, not the educational PhDs. I know he
Yeah.
definitely had
Yeah.
his point of view was loud and clear on that.
Yeah, that's a great video.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because if there's one thing, well, everything else that you can do, is go to the social media page. Like, comment, share each of the posts that are on there. Those are the stories of the people that are out there making the world a better place, or trying. And the more we share the positive stories of people that are doing that, versus the negative stories of things that we can't really do anything about. If you're on the front lines and if you're fighting the fight, okay, I get it, and your business. But if you're not, invest your energy, invest your time, invest yourself in the things that are making it better. Be aware of the things that aren't, but invest your energy in putting out things that are.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.
Very well said.
So, any last thoughts?
Well, I just want to thank you for coming and sharing your experiences, like updating us on what's going on with you. I've missed you.
Thank
Your
you.
energy here in Broward County, Florida.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
welcome
you're
back.
back. Yeah,
I know
welcome
we got to work together a little bit when you got back on some stuff for your family over there. Then I hope that all goes well. And I'm sure we'll keep in touch. We'll bring you back on when the new book comes out.
Yes,
So we can keep
absolutely.
everyone up to date.
Thank
and
you.
I like how you're creating an area for people to incubate their ideas, and it doesn't have to be perfect. They just have to get started.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because that's, thank you guys for being willing to grow with me and giving me a platform that allows me to, grow.
Yeah, we're all about entrepreneurship and motivating others. sometimes
Building,
people just need to hear it in the right context, you know. So
Building an astute future. That's the tagline for Brains and Brawn.
that's right. Building an astute future. So yeah, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. You can check out unifiedjourney.com. You could go to Amazon. We'll put a link on there. Amazon, the book's available. Unified Journey. Is your Facebook page Unified Journey as well, or is it Solomon?
There is a website Unified Journey page attached to Merbebe Solomon.
Okay.
Looks like Merbebe, Merbebe.
Yeah, we'll put it all in the link so you guys can see.
And you can find me at astuteproductions.com, and please go through Amazon through our website. It helps us.
Yep, help support the show. Brainsandbronzepodcast.com. It's kind of an offset of Astute Productions, so you can find us either way. Astute Productions, you can go through the media link to the podcast, and you can also check out patriotfocus.com. So those are our links.
See you next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and thanks again, Solomon, for coming on.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.